Good evening. Welcome to our first episode of the new year. Let me explain for all you new folks out there. We're BoomerRexTonight, your nearly daily source for news and politics. And first, let me introduce you, Mr. Boomer Rex himself.
Welcome back. Sorry we weren't around for 3 days.
And yes, he is a boomer. And his son, Asshole, who is a millennial, and I, RisenLadyHeathen, am also a millennial. Our goal is to give you both perspective of politics and news. So, boomer perspective, millennial perspective. And we hope to get other people to join us from others. We just had my son Sleet on for a while, and he's a Gen Zer, so we got to hear his perspective on some things. So We're kind of spreading it out here. So without further ado, let's dive right into today's headlines. What do we got? The Wisconsin Fraudit. Tell me about that.
Oh my God. This comes under the heading of elections for morons. And it just continues. People keep trying to find a name for it, like fake or sham. Sorry, guys, Arizona invented the right word. It's Fraudit. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, it's been ridiculed as comic buffoonery.
Oh, of course.
I mean, just idiotic.
Well, even the Arizona one, the governor who was like, yeah, we're going to do this thing. Depending on who asked, depended on her response. If you were a Republican, she'd be like, oh, yes, we want to make sure that everything is being held up perfectly. If you were a Democrat, she would say, oh, no. We know that there's no problem at all. We just, doing this to shut up the Republicans.
President who paid for the nonsense. So anyway, and from people who knew nothing about elections, absolutely nothing.
Oh, yeah, not even a little bit. Yep.
Right.
And they still found more votes for Biden, which is ridiculous, but moving on.
So anyway, this was set to end last Friday. But immediately, you have to understand, this is Republicans subpoenaing various data from the Democratic strongholds in the state, right?
Fine.
So, in any case, they subpoenaed voting machine serial numbers, information about computer software updates, communications with Dominion voting systems. Madison and Green Bay County don't use Dominion voting systems. And the fucktard who's running it didn't seem to know that.
Oh, wonderful.
Right? So you just
Facts and this is a way of filing.
This is a former Supreme Court justice who was just bumbling into every tree in the woods and has succeeded in spending about $750,000 on nobody knows what, but it looks like it went to some friends. So anyway.
Well, of course it went to friends. That's what all of these idiots do.
Yeah.
We're not surprised.
Where do they get these fools? And the short answer is because nobody with IQ over 70 will answer their phone. Or almost nobody.
Fair.
Anyway, that's all I had.
So let's talk about Dave Bateman, crazy email dude.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
so Dave Bateman is the co-founder of tech company Entrada. And so he sends out, he just papers the technical companies in his state. Mm-hmm. And it starts with, I write this email knowing that many of you will think I'm crazy after reading it. No, Mr. Bateman, you are totally and utterly wrong. They will not think you're crazy.
No.
They will know that you are crazy, and they will have objective evidence of that fact. I believe that there's a sadistic effort underway to euthanize the American people.
Oh,
it's obvious now. It's undeniable, and yet no one's doing anything.
Oh, fucking globalists.
Sometimes it's vampires.
Oh my God.
This was by the Jews.
Chimera.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
classic.
This is the Jews.
So
absolutely.
Classic. It's always the Jews.
Yep. Well, and he has an explanation for why the Catholic Church is in the same.
Oh, of course he does.
Is that the Pope is a Jewish agent?
Yes.
Oh, God,
Anyway,
why?
The idea is to depopulate the world.
That shit crazy.
And it's a Jewish plot to create a one-world government. The reaction's been spectacular.
Oh, I'm sure.
Pretty much every other tech executive in this buffoon state has called him a moron.
Done.
Yeah, somebody shut him
You
up.
probably can't work in an industry where Googling you is a fairly, well, they're probably going to do that.
Yeah, a lot. So part of the reason why we've been away, folks, is we've all been fighting a really nasty cold, and
Or COVID.
we got
Who the
Corona.
hell knows?
unfortunately, Boomer seems to have gotten the worst of it. So
You're
you'll
gonna
have to-
die.
That's why they call it Boomer Remover. And it would be a lot funnier if I weren't vaguely in the back of my mind a little bit worried about just that.
It's that
So, let's
scene
not
from
fuck with
Jurassic
me.
Park. Well, it's not the one. It's the raptor ones at the end.
Oh, yeah, where they...
Dinosaurs ruled the earth.
All right, so this guy is just fucking dumb, right?
Yeah, no.
No, this is...
You get points for being classic Looney Tunes. Like, this is right there with bodily fluids and fluoride in the water. And it's what everyone else means when they talk about the Rockefellers or Pick a Thing or...
No, I've been listening too much to our we have this podcast we've been enjoying, and it's called Knowledge Fight for those of you that don't know, and it is amazing and terrible all at the same time. And I've been learning way more about globalists and what their supposed agenda is than I think I ever
No,
wanted.
just how the crazy run it.
Oh God.
A bunch of these, the ones that weren't going to go, right, religious and weird, I mean, they were trying to say somewhat secular, tend to be some misunderstanding of the business coup that blames moneyed interest. That yes, exactly, that's the problem. It's really who we're talking about. Oh, no, wait, now you're off on something else.
Yeah.
Right, it's the Red Scare all over again. Over much ado about nothing.
Ugh. So it's so stupid, and all of these, what are they called? Fucking...
Conspiracy theories?
Yes, all of these conspiracy theories. Why do they always involve the Jews? Like, why is everyone
Because
so
there's
whatever
all
about
this-
Jewish people? Like, shut up and let them do
It's
their
like they're
thing. Like,
giant
nobody
bodies.
cares.
all this
From-
historical infrastructure.
Yep.
Right. Written in full caps by people who were literally foaming at the
Written
mouth
in
crazy.
full crayon.
Yeah, absolutely.
A handful
that's
of
been
those at
passed
best
down
made by
for-
secret police.
Yeah, I mean, this has been passed down for at least 2,000 years.
Yeah.
Um,
And hell, the Rockefellers thing comes from a Nazi propaganda movie.
No, because what a lot of these people, they claim to be Christian, right? And then we go on and on about how bad the Jews are. Guess what? You know, all you people, like, 2,000 plus years ago would have all been Jews.
Yep.
Okay, just so you know, like that's where the line is drawn. Okay, you believe in Jesus, they are still waiting for Jesus. There we go. That's the only difference. They are your people. Shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of other differences. I'm not trying to belittle Christianity or Judaism, but I'm just saying they're very similar. I've looked into
any similarity between the white nationalist evangelical movement and Christianity is entirely mythical. They are two separate things.
Oh
By
no,
that
white
little
supremacy has
phrase.
nothing to do with
A wolf in sheep's clothing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no,
No, and if you have a friend who starts going on and on about chimeras and Jews, like maybe you should talk to that person about their mental health. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was thinking
it's not safe.
if I were on the board of Entrada, I would be considering a mental health intervention.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, whatever it is, I don't remember what the hell's the guy's name.
Dave Bateman.
Dave.
Damn, Brain, look at you being all right. Yeah, no, Dave was dehydrated or something, and he's now in the care of medical professionals. His views are
He was on medication for
his
vertigo.
statements reflect the views of whatever the hell our company's name used to be. Also, we're changing the name of the company.
Right.
God damn it, Dave. Somebody
Get the giant hook.
take him out of the closet. I need to kick him some more.
Oh my God.
God,
Imagine what it's like to work for a company like that. Oh,
No, it's like
geez.
that one we were talking about.
imagine that's your second day.
What was it, like the middle of December or something? Anyway, we were talking about that one dude that like fired a bunch of people over Zoom.
Oh yeah.
Like what the fuck are you doing? Like,
Well, and then he had a bunch of Looney Tune rethugs praising him for it. Right.
Well, that's their idea of leadership.
Yeah.
We really should make you play whatever it is, BioShock Infinite.
Oh.
It's sort of a perfect idea of a Confederate state, but you only realize that as you go along.
Oh,
See
okay.
the underclass bidding less and less for a job. I don't think but a handful of the kids that saw it got much of that. They were too busy not understanding how quantum physics works, but sure.
All right, let's move on to Mr. Boomer Rex's About Damn Time. What good things did we do now? Tell us, please.
So this one's a little out of date because I was under the weather for 3 days. But a Dutch economist who was a prominent skeptic of COVID-19 vaccines and a strong anti-lockdown campaigner has died at the age of 53 of COVID. So,
somebody play the Mario noise. Bah, bah, bah.
When he got it, that's
how I got us canceled. Yeah.
He texted, coronavirus positive, about time too. And so I'll take us back to the top of the, the title of the article. I'm totally okay with that. It was about damn time.
Mm-hmm.
He made his choice. He paid his price. I'm good with that.
Yeah. No,
and that's one will stop breathing fucking COVID on people.
Right, right. That's one less.
And best of all, the guilty one will have paid the price, and not some poor bystander who had to come to work that day and stood next to the mofo while he infected him.
Yep.
So.
No, wear your mask, people.
Fuck him.
Get your shots. Do your things.
Get your shots. Wear your masks. Stay away from people that you don't want getting sick.
And all of the data on Omicron is saying the unvaccinated are only overwhelmingly the victims. The good news is it's not as bad, except maybe kids but they aren't vaccinated, right?
Yeah.
So.
No, and I get it's not as cool and glamorous as when 9/11 happened and everyone ran out and killed themselves a terrorist, but yeah, just get your shots and shut up.
Yeah. Or not.
Hey, I was proud of the Marine Corps for not accepting any religious exemptions because, no.
I told you to get the shot. Hold out your arm.
Yeah. That's not what we do here, bro.
No, when we did flu shots every year, we would line them up and say, have any of you had a previous reaction to flu shots? And there'd be one or two, and we'd set them aside. And there were usually 2 formulations, one of which avoided the egg.
Yeah, which is usually what the reaction is.
Yeah. And then we just lined them up and shot holes in them.
Yeah.
I only ever saw one anaphylactic shock reaction to, and he had never had one before.
Yeah.
And he was pretty shocked. And from the time we realized it was going on until the time he was sitting up drinking coffee was about 3 minutes start to finish.
Yeah.
So
no,
we know how to handle anaphylaxis.
Well, yeah. No, they line you up, they have doctors, whatever, and give you your shot, and you move on, and they watch you for half an hour or whatever. And then...
no, it's one of the few jobs where actually you can be like, all right, now watch each other. Let me know if your pet dies.
Yep. Right. Well, and you tend to leave them standing.
Yeah.
Because it's much easier to hide the fact that you're woozy as shit if you're sitting down.
Yep. Yeah, that's fair. All right. So
I always thought it was funny. Guys, I don't remember what book I read where you come up the transition through the doorway. There are blankets hung from the right, and there's some Playboy pinup on the far wall, and that's when they gun you with the... Yeah. I actually walked through that door before I realized, oh, fuck, I read about this. Crap! Shit, damn it. So, and the good news was I didn't flinch. I didn't flinch the time I had a big hole. Somebody bumped the medic. That tears one hell of a hole. And the worst of it was, because I say it really hurts. It's unpleasant, genuinely unpleasant. And the medic looked at it and he goes, I don't think we got a dose in, and took my arm and shot me again. And that time it took some willpower not to flinch.
Right.
But it tore a stripe.
All right.
So it's probably 1.5 inches long and 1/4 inch wide at the end with no skin at all.
Good for you.
Oh, yeah.
All your skin, don't be greedy. That's how the bugs get in.
Yeah, that's why they don't do those anymore. Anyway,
bugs gotta eat too.
Tell me about the space telescope.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So we should celebrate, right?
Woo!
So we launched the James Webb Space Telescope. It's a little over halfway to L2, where it's going to park. Does everybody understand what L2 is?
I do.
Think about the Sun-Earth system, right? If you sit behind the Earth, you see the gravity of the Sun and the Earth superimposed on each other. So there's a little spot right behind the Earth where there's extra high gravity, right? So Now you need to scoot a little faster, right? But that spot doesn't move. Every direction out from there has lower gravity, so you can orbit that point as though it had its own gravity.
Neat.
And that's what the Space Telescope will do.
Yet another way you can tell the Earth isn't hollow.
It wouldn't make any difference. The Earth's gravitational field is the sum.
Heard it here first, the Earth's hollow. Like, comment, subscribe.
Anyway,
Shit, that's
so
wrong.
part of the cool thing about going out there is you've got the Earth in the way. It's very stable. Takes very little fuel to stay where it's supposed to. It's way beyond the moon, right? And it's pointed outward, right? So you set up a sunshade, right? And you have your telescope, then the sunshade protects it entirely from the sun. There is no sun falling on the backside of that parasol. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that lets you be really, really cold, which is a good thing for a infrared telescope. And so they made a sunshade that's just big enough that you can sort of vaguely tip your telescope from side to side and look in various places without it ever moving into the sun and getting warm.
Excellent.
Yep. But this was absolutely critical for the performance of the telescope. The solar sail consumed about 75, maybe even 80% of all the single point of failure operations in assembling the telescope.
Yeah.
So we're now sort of 3/4 of the way home, and the rest of it, most of it is in, engineered, machined, well-known, practiced pieces.
Yeah.
Right? So the odds of having something go really weird are much lower than, say, pulling a cable tight around the perimeter of the 75-foot by 50-foot solar parasol.
Oof.
5 times, because there are 5 layers. So anyway, way to go, NASA.
Well
Right?
played.
Because this must have made them sick to their stomachs when they started.
Well played. That's the old school NASA I remember hearing about.
Yep.
All right.
Well, after spending $10 billion,
Aye.
don't fuck it up, guys.
Yeah, seriously.
But again, this is a Hail Mary. This is what is the most aggressive telescope you can put in orbit right now. How do you build it? How do you put it in orbit? And how do you get it into operation?
Yeah.
So, way to fucking go, NASA. Way to shoot for the moon.
This is how you do some steely-eyed Rocket Man shit.
There you go.
We'll have to get a clap track or something.
I believe in us.
We'll record one.
You could attach that to a button, couldn't you, with this? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we could have a lot of fun with this.
Oh, we could do all kinds of stuff. I highly recommend we make all of our own sounds so that nobody can be like, oh, that's our sound. Be like, no, we made it ourselves. Here's the original file.
Here's the behind the
Here's
scenes thing
finger.
that only the top tier Patreon people get.
Yeah, there you go.
So tell me about this dark factor.
So this one's really interesting. So this is one asshole showed me.
Indeed.
Folks kind of wonder about what makes folks just fucking mean, right? Why do they do bad things? And so how would you measure their proclivity for doing such bad things? So 2,500 participants. They surveyed the participants with questions designed to measure their levels of 9 distinct dark personality traits: egoism, Machiavellianism, moral disengagement, narcissism, psychological entitlement, psychopathy, sadism, self-interest, and spitefulness.
Maybe a few of those need to be explained. What's the Machiavellianism?
Seeing everything transactionally.
Right, that you can change the... Yeah.
You're reading the angles on every deal.
You're manipulating the system. You're
playing the game.
Yeah. So anyway, we will post a link to the survey, which is online. You can take it. I was fascinated because I had expected to come up modestly high on dark factors, and was very surprised that I was right at the bottom of the distribution. That, there were a number of things like the old adage, don't get mad, get even. Which I have ever said, I have ever thought in the back of my mind, but I've never once done.
Ooh. It's not bad. I mean, it's not as satisfying as you think it'll be, but...
Never is.
Anyway, and I know how low you scored, so don't...
Oh, yeah, no.
I haven't even taken it. I didn't realize there was a test. I just saw the article.
Oh, you got to fear the test.
Passing.
Okay.
A lot of it is the questions are different than the one on the internet, and obviously the one on the internet's trying, right? There's a junk quiz series similar to it.
Yes.
The wording of the questions is designed to evoke much simpler thought answers, and so you score higher automatically. And so I like these better. On the other hand, I'm not going to go out of my way. Like, I'm not going to lie and wait for I have shit to do.
Yeah.
I much more screw you up if I don't have to go out of my way. And even then, probably not.
I've always said revenge is a dish best served cold. And I mean it, because I literally just walk away and people will either figure it out or they won't, and karma will sort them out as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. No, but I assume that it really is a teaching path, that I learned what I believe from my father, and I think asshole learned much of what he believes from me. And yeah, there are all these things that are really easy to say, and I would do that. But the briefest moment hesitation says, man, if they were right there and I could punch them in the face, there's a chance, right? But if there's 30 seconds, they're going to be fine.
Yeah, I'm going to forget.
I will remember. I'm going to exclude them.
Yeah, I cooperate less with that human.
Yeah.
Really is the heart and soul of Prisoner's Dilemma, but...
Fair.
You ever played Prisoner's Dilemma? Mm-hmm. How'd you do?
We fucked around. We could not... The person I was playing against had not heard enough about it to realize the trick.
Oh. I was invited to take a prison. It's a standard, undergraduate experiment that you go out and get victims to come in. And so this guy, the two of us didn't even know each other. We're sitting on a bench. I think I was reading my physics assignment, and it was too early for him to be talking on a phone, so I don't know what the fuck he was doing. Anyway, so this student comes up and says, would you be willing to take a psychological test? And is it going to hurt? No. Okay. Yeah, sure. And I think they were paying us $10.
Nice.
Okay. So we follow him down, and they put us in the booth. They explain the concept of prisoner's dilemma. And they started the test. And we cooperated on every single trial. It's the only time they'd ever seen it happen.
Huh.
And when it was all over, I asked the guy, I said, I was thinking I might have to encourage you to do the right thing. I said, how did you know? And he said, you just look at the payout. This is the only way they lose money and we make money. So, okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is or what the point of it is.
If you cooperate, you each get a penny. If you fail to cooperate, the cheater gets 2 pennies and the victim loses a penny. And you just run that over and over again. If you both say good, you both get a penny. And if you both say bad, you both lose a penny. Right? So that's how you're supposed to teach your partner that you've never met, which we never had. But no. I think we went through 100 trials, and every single trial was a yes.
I think part of the problem is millennials are aggressively raised on game theory. Right, just nearly from birth.
Yeah.
Because everything is now. It nearly was when I was growing up. But variations on this is where we learned about the concept of last place aversion and things like that. Because if you add another layer where they have to give money, there is a segment of the population that will refuse to give money to people and would rather give money to change. Best I can figure is it's like when servers give away free drinks because they think that their customers remember that.
Right.
And they don't.
Yeah.
occasionally, and again, you're talking about $10, right? But occasionally you will get a pair that go into a bad matrix where one person really can win, right? And so they non-cooperate every single time with a single cheater, and then they walk out the door and divide the money.
Wretchedness.
But again, I was impressed with his logic, which was, it's the only way we take money out of their pocket.
Yeah, fair. All right, so now we got updates with BoomerX. We have a lot of updates tonight, so let's get started.
Oh, oops.
Tell us about the Social Security numbers reporter dude, the Trog Rethugs thing.
Oh, this is that standard Trog Rethug-looking governor who thinks that the St. Louis Post-Dispatch reporter who uncovered a serious failure in their state's software for letting people look up teachers, and serious failure that exposed all their data. And the faculty should be suing for 3 years of identity theft protection.
Oh, God.
Because it was sent. When you looked up a teacher, that information came to you. It was not immediately readable, but if you had saved that page, any text editor would have shown it to you. And every browser that I know of would show it to you if you looked at the page source. Yeah. So anyway, the governor believes this is hacking because he's too stupid to add 2 and 2. He's ignoring the FBI. I assume he's ignoring his state police. I can't believe they're all that stupid. So anyway, he wants to see charges filed, and I'm going to keep this on here because I assume that the Cole County prosecuting attorney is not that stupid. But the day he files the charge, that county is fucked.
Oh, yeah.
Because they are going to be sued.
Fair.
And I really hope that reporter and his company and whatever other organizations they can find to join them will absolutely do the worst they possibly can to the county in terms of a settlement.
It's the only way to make
wreck 'em.
governments learn.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, the next time the bonehead runs for governor, his opposition can talk about the stupidity tax. $44 million we paid for the stupidity tax for Governor so-and-so who doesn't know what hacking is. So, anyway.
It's just stupid. All right, so tell us more about Take This Job and Shove It.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
going on with that? It's always exciting.
Strike back, labor.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure labor should be in charge of the means of production, but
I don't think they need to be. I think they need to have a voice in how the company rewards.
Yeah.
Right. Splits up the earnings.
All that stuff, and I see in old history books that.
And I think they can explain that to the stockholders by striking for a year.
Yeah.
So anyway, Warren Buffett.
Oh no. Show
Right.
his true colors.
Owns a big chunk through his investments. Owns a big chunk of the special metals plant in Huntington, West Virginia, and they've been on strike for 3 months. And what they're offering to their union is literally a reduction.
Yeah.
Right. So the answer is, guys, you can't do what we do without us, and you're not ever doing it again.
John Deere
until
killed
you
a
make
VP
us
when
happy.
they tried.
Yeah. So anyway, but Bernie Sanders suggested offhand that perhaps Warren Buffett, who is a famous verbal supporter of workers' rights and equity and so on.
Goat billionaire.
Yeah. Said no, it wasn't his job to intervene. And I think that's so fundamentally wrong.
Oh, good, yeah.
Right? That you are an owner of that
That is so
company.
fundamentally common of his class.
Oh, sure.
The fact that he didn't instantly understand this might actually be a case to intervene in, right? Get something that works and say, this can be the beginnings of a model, right? For a new equity. But no, the offer is pathetic. Hopefully they'll stay on strike. With a little bit of luck, the company will go broke.
Good.
And they'll find, these workers will find better jobs in other
Whatever
companies.
takes over.
Yeah. So anyway, but the whole idea that Warren Buffett doesn't understand that as a capital owner of this company, that part of your responsibility to the company isn't to make it workable and sustainable.
Yeah.
Right? And that means some equity for the workers and some equity for the stockholders. And he's still in this mode where, the stockholders get whatever they can steal. So again, fuck you, Warren Buffett. Don't ever speak to me again about equity or anything else.
Yeah, we know which side you're on.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah. So what we need to do is tax you badly enough, you regret it.
Yes, obviously. No, Barnabas. Put the guillotine back in the museum where you found it.
Oh, I don't know. That's a nice guillotine.
Good job, Barnabas.
Oh, that would make a great photo. Barnabas yanking the string.
Right?
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, Barnabas is our big orange Maine Coon cat.
Yeah, you occasionally see him on a ladder, being displeased at birds.
And big is such an incredible misnomer for that cat.
True.
That is one fat cat.
Well, he's a big fluff ball. He's
I know.
all fur.
Yeah.
I've seen that cat shaved.
Yeah, he's not very big when he's all shaved.
No. He's just a big fluff
He's still
ball.
pretty damn heavy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's like almost 18 pounds, right?
Yeah.
18-pound cat.
that's a good
He's a
cat.
big cat. Maine Coons are known for their size and their adorable personalities. I have to say, he is a sweetheart.
That's why he does battle with me.
Yeah.
I was going to say, what's wrong with Barnabas? No, I like Barnabas.
All right, so tell us what's going on with Omicron.
Okay, this one is a correction to an earlier story.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Earlier, we had told you about a flight attendant named Ragnar Hildur Eriksdottir, or Rocky, who perfectly handled a customer's discovery in flight that she was infected with COVID-19, tried to find her a place to sit isolated in the airplane, couldn't, put her in the toilet,
Yeah.
and brought her goodies and stuff and so on. And then when they arrived and she got sent to a quarantine hotel, she sent her a couple of bags of goodies, like a little light up Christmas tree and so forth. So let's say it again. Ragnhildur Eriksdottir, or Rocky. And I believe I had said she worked for Icelandic. She doesn't. She works for Iceland Air.
Oh, okay.
Right.
No, way to go, Iceland Air.
So when you handle something that well, your name and your company's name need
up
to
in
be
light
right
a little
on
bit.
our blog. So we're sorry if we said it wrong before.
But here it is the right way.
There.
Right. Ragnhildur Eriksdottir, Iceland Air. Nicely done.
Right?
All right. I think we should start like a, best company of the week or something.
Companies to say a nice thing to, companies to pee on. I can totally do one of those little Kelvin drawings. Then if I do it, it's my art.
Let's see, what could we do?
I could draw a little monk peeing on things, and nobody but me would think it was
For those
fun.
of you who are curious, I am in the process of putting together our Patreon. So we will for real have a Patreon. There's going to be different levels you can donate. You'll get different things for different
You can
levels.
spend all
of
the
course.
money.
I'm a little
Just
bit
3 more money grubbing.
Yes.
I'm a little bit whatever because I'm not sure the way we're doing things now, it's kind of hard to give people like Patreon does the thing where you get your content 2 days early and whatever. And I'm not sure we can really
We can look
how to
into
work
that.
with that. So
We can find ways to do nice things for subscribers.
Yeah.
oh, for sure. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not sure how it's going to shake out. It's probably going to
No
take
idea.
me a few days to really organize
See
it
what
the
other
way.
people we like are doing.
And we
Yeah.
don't seriously believe for a second we're ever going to make any money at
I
this.
believe in us. Gonna buy us an airship.
Yeah, no, and again, if you're in our top tier, whatever that's going to be, and you are part of it for at least a year before we get our ship, you can be one of the people to come for a ride for free. It'll be
We
fun.
are going to buy lottery tickets.
Oh yeah, for
Just
sure.
one a week.
Okay.
Or one per lottery. There are 2 lotteries a week, right?
Okay. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Right. Anyway, we will start buying those. And if we win the lottery, and I mean the lottery,
Yeah.
right, the 700 million, whatever.
Powerball or whatever.
Right. We will do some of these things that we have been talking about, like the airship and so on.
And we'll raffle off, for people. Yeah. So subscribe, like,
we
follow,
will go back
comment,
and listen to
share.
all the nonsense we have promised and see if there's any of it we can do.
Oh, I'm sure we can do most of it because we haven't really promised anything too crazy except for the ride in the airship. And if we manage to get enough money to get a freaking airship we can name yacht, then I feel like that's
and 700 million is
do.
a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm
be able to do something with
pretty
it.
sure that'll be enough to get us an airship of some sort.
Yeah.
Even if we just
cage
buy
for
an
the
old
internet
blimp.
weirdos, put the internet weirdos in the cage, put the cage on the thing. Just rock it full Jurassic Park style. Without any door nonsense.
No, we can do something. We all dress up and
Yeah.
go, and people can mingle, have champagne. Or
We
something.
take it to an
It'll be
altitude where they have to buy air.
Yeah.
fun. There we go. All right. Let's get this update on climate weirding.
Bum, bum, bum.
The same thing. The fires in
Hey, they're out. Shh, dodge
Well-
that bullet.
they're mostly out.
Oh, well, damn it.
Someday we will have merchandise that we can have. BoomerRexTonight says climate weirding's happening now.
But again, this was completely unprecedented propagation, right? Some chance it started in a building rather than, because everybody was saying downed power lines, and the power company's going, except there aren't any power lines down. So anyway, there's a video that makes it look like it might have started in a building. But once it was started, there was no getting in front of it.
No.
Right. And it was blowing.
Not in those winds.
It was blowing burning embers for a mile.
Yeah, and this is the Colorado one, right?
Yeah.
Oh God. That
So we were insanely lucky that it started in a single point, right? Spread in a triangle.
Yeah.
And ended within 6 or 7 hours. Because if it hadn't, it would have been really exciting. Once again, it proves the thing, so we'll remind folks that if you are stuck in that environment, if you have a flash fire, grass fire, wildfire coming toward you, you stop right where you are and you start a fire and you feed it to make it big.
So this is kind of like if you're out in the middle of nowhere
And you see it coming.
and you see it coming, you want to burn yourself a clear spot before the fire gets to you.
And so the little fire that you have started will move along inside that as yet unburned area and will eventually give you an area where when the real fire gets there, you can just lie down, cover your head, and survive.
Yeah.
Right? But you've got to do it right now because every second that your fire burns helps you live.
Yep.
Right? And there is nothing, and if you can see the edge, run to the edge. But that's not how wildfires work, guys.
No.
You're not ever going to outrun one. And it's uncommon that you can move out of it to the side.
Yeah, because with winds like that, you can't even get on the other side of a highway and hope that that's going to stop it because
Not
it'll
even
just
gonna slow it down.
It'll just blow right over the highway.
Yeah.
So,
No, if you're confident you can move out of its path to the right or left, do it. But you're not ever going to outrun it, period. You cannot outrun a wildfire, period. Can't be done. You will die. And so if you don't see an obvious way to get out and get, behind the fire front on the other side.
or like a huge patch of dirt and burn around that. Yeah.
You might be able to survive in the arena.
That's fair.
You'd
There's
want to
nothing
dig
for-
in a little bit, dig down. Right. Most of it will blow over you. I think you might be all right. But again, the area that you're in is going to burn. The fact that it started burning a little earlier isn't going to make shit's worth of difference in the outcome for the fire.
No.
But it's going to change you from dead to alive.
Yep.
So, and it's counterintuitive, right? You have to think through it. You have to see yourself doing it and understanding why it's your best bet. Right? Do I guarantee you're going to live? Hell no. But
But it's kind of like your only hope.
it's your best hope.
It's your last ditch effort.
It's like the kids that were stuck in the Sandia tram. Not like jumping is an option. Not like climbing down the cables is an option.
I know.
So just hang out there and be cold. It's fine.
I'll bet that was unpleasant.
Yeah.
Sandy, a tram got stuck for 6 hours, 2 mornings ago?
Something like that.
And it wasn't on the track.
Yeah.
It must have been fairly scary. Anyway, they got him out, helicoptered him home.
All right, so this is something that I've been wanting to talk about literally since it happened. This is near and dear to my heart. Betty White passed away on the 31st, so literally hours before the new year. They were going to have a big birthday celebration for her on her birthday, which is
17th.
January 17th.
Yep.
For those of you who want to know what you can do to honor her, a lot of people are pushing that on the 17th you donate to your local animal shelter, because she was all about animals. She loved animals. She went out of her way to help them every way, in any way she could. I've seen some amazing things about how, Betty White was just perfect timing with everything, and that her death guaranteed that she was going to be the most, celebrated, person ever in the world, because she died just before New Year's. So everyone was clinking glasses and
Skippy.
celebrate to her. And I certainly did myself.
I raised a glass to her.
We all raised a glass to her, and that just, she did so much for women and women in, the movie scene and the TV scene and stuff, actresses. She did so much to help push, that forward, right? So that actresses are getting treated better now than they used to, all kinds of stuff. She was just a truly, truly amazing woman. Do you know that she wanted to be a forest ranger and a zookeeper?
Oh.
She also, during World War II, volunteered for the American Women's Voluntary Services.
Okay.
She was one of the first women to ever be nominated for an Emmy, ever.
Wow.
That was her. And that was in 1951. She won Best Actress category. Oh no, she didn't win, but she was nominated. Ultimately, I guess it went to Gertrude Berg, who was the first woman to ever win.
Okay.
But she was one of the first women to ever be nominated. Betty White was one of the first women to produce a sitcom. She produced a sitcom herself, and it was called Life with Elizabeth. And I've seen a couple, because there was a time where I was I'm really curious about Betty White's old stuff.
Yeah, okay.
So I dug through YouTube and I found some these old videos of her, and oh my God, it's amazing. It's wonderful, and it's hysterical. If you like
What's
Betty White,
called?
Life with Elizabeth.
Okay.
It's really good. And then she was the mayor of Hollywood in 1955.
I had no idea.
Absolutely brilliant. Because of how well her Life with Elizabeth did, she, gained acclaim through Hollywood, and then was able to become the mayor. Her legal name is actually not Betty White. Is actually Betty White, not Elizabeth. So
Okay.
her actual legal name is Betty White,
Okay.
but everybody called her Elizabeth.
Of course.
Or thought that her full name was
Of course.
Elizabeth. She was the first woman to receive an Emmy Award for Outstanding Game Show Host.
Wow.
So she actually received that one. She first won the Los Angeles Emmy Award for Outstanding Personality with Life with Elizabeth in 1952. She also won in 1975 for Best Outstanding Continuing Performance by Supporting Actress for the Mary Tyler Moore Show,
Cool.
which she also won the following year. Additionally, in 1983, White became the first woman to win the Outstanding Game Show Host Emmy for Just Men. Though it didn't stay on NBC for long, it had 65 episodes and it helped her get another Emmy on her shelf. Betty White made 1954's The Betty White Show, very progressive. So that's interesting. And yeah, so that's my fun facts for her for this evening.
Okay.
Loved you in Lake Placid.
Oh my gosh. So for those of you who are Betty White fans, but you don't like horror movies, Lake Placid. It's like Jaws. It's like an updated Jaws and done just as well as Jaws. I don't like horror movies. I love Jaws. And I love Lake Placid, and Betty White plays the most amazing character in Lake Placid. Okay. I like her in Lake Placid too as well. It's very funny. But she's phenomenal, and yeah, no, I highly recommend it. Pretty much anything you ever see this says guest star Betty White or starring Betty White,
you should go
fucking just watch it. She is just a gem. And she is definitely sorely missed by many. I mean, everything she touched was made that much better for having her. She was the embodiment of a strong woman and inspired many generations of young girls to just follow their dreams, right? Like she was ahead of all this. And I really just can't say enough good things about how she lived and who she was and all the good things that she did, especially her work with animals, you know, and just giving confidence to people and literally kind of sort of inventing women being like, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway. You know what I mean? And she was all about that. She was all about gay rights and mind your business. And you know what I mean? Like, who cares? Like, let them do them. You know, and she, God, I can't, this is just so sad for me. Like, I've really been grieving on and off since she
let's stop being sad and raise another glass, because Betty White lived for 100 years.
Almost, yeah. Just shy, but yeah.
No, I saw a meme, I thought
way harder for others.
No, I saw a meme I thought Betty White would have laughed at, which was that she grabbed 2021 by the throat and jumped into an active volcano with it. So.
No, and I saw another funny one that made me laugh, which is, you know, Betty White just yeeted herself out of 2022. Should we be concerned?
Whoa.
And it was the first time I stopped and thought and was like, fuck, maybe. Like, oh, God. But 2022, you're on notice. Be fucking better. All right? This is ridiculous. If you take any more of my beloved people, no. I'm not even going to say any names out loud of people that I don't want to lose.
Right? That's how you get started.
I want to go back to an astronomical one I saw today that I kind of liked.
What's that?
Okay, tell me again exactly when it was that NASA said that the planet named for the god of death was no longer a planet. And we might want to not do that again.
Yeah, no, I died when I found that meme.
Yeah.
So, it was actually your sister that shared that with us, and it's NASA. We used to have 9 planets, but now we only have 8. Pluto. Stop telling everyone I'm not a planet. NASA. Sometimes we can still hear its voice. And then the response to this is somebody saying, look, I'm not saying that demoting a planet named after the Roman god of death stoked his rage and brought down on us his vengeful fury and retribution, but gestures at everything. Yeah. And yes, I thought that was brilliant.
So, you heard it here first, internet. We need to get right with Pluto.
Yeah. We need to get
send
right.
Betty White back and give us another volcano.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my goodness. So hopefully this year will be better.
I've reached the point where I don't dare the year not to be.
Right.
I mean, it's rough.
Don't you say it.
It's rough because there's just...
We have lots of hope for 2022.
I used to have room for hope in my heart and my life, and I don't know, the last 5 or so years have just beaten it out of me. I am jaded as
I am
fuck.
sorry to hear that. So now you have to have her take the test.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. So we'll talk about my results when I take the test tomorrow.
Yeah.
If y'all take the test, please comment. Let us know what you got.
Make sure we post the link various places.
Last chance, send us trash bags full of 20s to the internet. Hurry up.
Yeah, no,
Dude, it's gonna be all Patreon and
well, we're gonna have our Patreon up soon.
Last chance to use your obsolete paper money.
right. It's got mites on it, I hear.
Yeah, no. So
It's
again,
all about the Scientology.
I had to make a new Facebook for us because I needed to make a quote unquote business page because Facebook sucks.
Turns out you can't have that many fog machines on a non-business page.
So now
They're super serious about
through
that.
our old page, we now have a new page. It's still BoomerRexTonight. You can still find us. The symbol, our little icon, the little circle icon is the same. So it's easy to find. And I think I used a different banner, but just to kind of switch it up a bit since it's new, we're hoping to get a bunch of new people to join us. So we'll see. Trying some new stuff out, pushing the Patreon. So once I get that up and once it's running, you'll be able to find us. It's BoomerRexTonight. It's not up yet, so don't bother looking. I'll let you know.
Okay.
But yeah, and we'll tell you all the goodies you'll get for signing up and stuff. So I don't know, maybe eventually in the future, if we get enough people who are interested, we'll make some merch. I don't know if you guys have funny quotes that we say a lot or quotes that you guys like. If you do, please comment, let us know, send me a message. You will always reach me on our Facebook if you messenger us. But if you want to speak to either of the other two, let me know. We could certainly hook that up. So, again, we love y'all. It's been a blast. Welcome to 2022. Hopefully this year, it's gonna be better.
Yeah.
Yes, Barnabas, we do need the goddamn fog machines. Otherwise, they're going to see the piles of clown bodies that the elephants keep making.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night on BoomerRexTonight.
Why do you try and turn